Hi, I'm the True Wise Gamer, giving off my vast knowledge so you may understand games a bit better. So, why this game in particular? Well, that's because I wanted to talk about a simple game with simple designs and how its simplicity can actually become its own set of issues. Yes, I am legit saying this game is so simple that it accidentally makes it impossible to bloody play at times. I only wanted to make this review so people can learn that being simple, while yes, can be useful, it does come with its own sets of issues, that being simple is never an excuse for a bad game. So, let's begin with Kingdoms, New Lands. The game begins with us on a horse, who I always name Clung. Why? I don't know, sounds nice to me, as we are tasked with protecting the crown from the monsters that are called the Greed, which I did not know because they are never really explained. In fact, a lot of things are never explained, like why do the Greeds want the crown? Why am I on the run already? Or what do these statues do? These are never answered in game, and you'll have to look them up to even know what the hell's going on. Okay, so whatever, what's the goal? Well, you need to get the crown out of there with a ship, so that you'll need to build the defense so you can make sure you last long enough. That's it. I know I sound a little annoyed, but that's not to denigrate the game's idea, just that the game does things that really don't make any sense. So let's talk about the gameplay for a moment. With the controls being, well, simple, there's only like 3 buttons and 2 of them are focused on the movement since this is a 2D game. So what the heck does the down button do? Well, it basically drops money. Yeah, that's it. Actually, if you hold down on it, you can actually upgrade stuff. Or pay the statue that I now know actually helped with upgrade stuff. So yeah, but that's it. I'll get to why I have more issues, but I at least should praise the game a bit more. I mean, the game looks very nice, and it's designed very well, though I mean that in the sense of the style of it looks nice. But by the end of the game, a lot of it looks the same. I mean, look at these islands for a moment, and then this island. You might be thinking I'm showing you the same island, but no, they are different islands. There's no real distinction between any of the islands, for some reason. But there's also the issue of the maps in and of themselves. See, after the first map, which is sizable, they become so freaking long, like dang long. I mean, by some point, I just started to hate the game. Since the maps were so long, I mean, they just go on and on and on in one direction for like the love of God. Just end. And it's just making it hard to manage stuff since everything is so far apart that it's going to take you like a minute before you reach the other side. And before somebody tells me that that's not really that long, yeah, totally. But those minutes add up, and when you're unable to do much, it's kind of annoying. In fact, this cost me many issues. Like, I would stay to one side for a really long time, even though it would have been better if I went to and fro, because it was that annoying. It felt as though the horse was barely moving at times, and it just made me wonder why they even bothered. Actually, I should mention the mechanic of other horses that you can get, and the one that you see right here has infinite stamina. Yes, there's a stamina mechanic, and it doesn't tell you how much you have. Well, sorta, but my point being is, it shouldn't take that long to get to one side or another, since you have to stop and go at times until you get a horse that can just keep going. And the game gets into this really bad habit of getting into a cycle that's not really interesting. That only gets more annoying because it's more time wasting. Basically, I'm going to just describe how this game is for a moment. Basically, you get to where you can make a settlement, collect people from the wild, which they don't run to the camp just to be safe, cause that makes sense. Either make them a fighter or a worker who will help make money or do stuff like repairing and whatnot. Using that to build up your defenses with these walls here to help make sure the Greed don't get to your camps too easily. I say easily because they will break them down after a while. And soon enough, you'll be beset by 2 sides in one of the later islands, thus meaning you're having to go back and forth, just to make sure that you're not dying immediately. Honestly, what's worse is that there's not a lot of music, or I would say music. I'm not entirely sure since for most of it, I don't even remember a single song, which I usually at least try to remember something, but I don't even remember music even playing, which is odd, since you would think they would have something more mellow playing in the background while you're doing all this so that you're not bored all the way through it all. And again, The idea is to basically wait out until you can build your ship and get the fuck out. It's all fine for a while, it's just until issues occur and you really can't do anything much. In fact, you really don't have any direct control to your units. In fact, I saw my units constantly being dumb, like construction workers running out of the middle of a fucking apocalypse, somehow thinking that will help. Or knights running away even though their idea is to go out and destroy the thing that are making the great portal. Or the archers who won't go to an area that's suffering from, fucking attacks, and go to the other direction to balance the sides out, rather than handling, I don't know, maybe going to the side that needs the fucking help. But that's really the issue. If you get devastated and you lose, well, you better restart at the beginning island, because here's the thing, you are at a disadvantage if you retry the island that you were just on. Thus meaning there is no real point to retrying, and thus just makes it say, what was the point of any of it when you are put at such a disadvantage? What's worse is that the area you spawn in can be random and make it impossible to grow anything useful, like recruitment camps being so far away that by the time they reach you, they are already dead or died on the way. Yeah, they don't run, like ever, like when they're in the middle of a fucking apocalypse, which is just bizarre, since why do that? Honestly, the best way to describe this game to everyone is walking in the middle of the fucking apocalypse. That's just fucking great. It actually, now thinking about it, this is a weird example of ludonarrative dissonance between the gameplay and the mechanics. Yeah, there's a difference, and yeah. You see, the game's mechanics are very much of a hurry and do this shit, while the gameplay and everything else around it makes it all feel like you shouldn't be wasting too much time. You'll just mellow the fuck out. That's what it feels like throughout the entire game. Rushing mellowness. In the end, do I recommend this game? Not really. I mean, like, if you're interested, give it a try, but if you're not, don't even bother with it. You'll most likely be bored by it all by the end, as it prevents anything really interesting to work. See y'all next time for, I don't know.